We're with John Mesagno, the junior captain on the Eastern Connecticut baseball team. The Warriors open up March 3rd. It's coming up pretty quickly. John, you guys been working out for about a month or so, some days outside, a lot of days in the gym. How are things going so far?
Yeah, they're going good. We're looking good. We're looking forward to playing, getting outside, and I'm excited to start the season.
Repetition inside. I know repetition is a big part of baseball with hitting and pitching, but it must be tough after a while to be in the gym.
Yeah, it can get tedious at times and repetitive, but we try to focus on always being mentally locked in and staying the course, which I think we've done a pretty good job of so far.
Well, baseball season's on its way because it's starting to get cold out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys have about 6 games scheduled before you go to Florida. So I guess you guys are keeping your fingers crossed, hoping that you get those in.
Yeah, that'd be nice to get some games in before Florida, and so that we're not, playing our first game in Florida when all the teams that we're playing against have played 5-6 games already.
Yeah, but I guess you never really know until like the day of the game up here in March whether you're going to be able to play or not.
Yeah, hopefully. Well,
you guys returned 19 letter winners. You guys last year, it was a lot of new faces, new coaching staff, and you actually had been off the year before as well because of your injury. Did things sort of go the way you wanted them last year? Because there was a lot of adjustments for last year for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of a letdown season last year. I think we were really talented, and we didn't really live up to what we could have been. But that happens sometimes, and I'm just looking forward to this season with the group of guys we have this year.
Well, it's a new coaching philosophy this year with Coach Ham. You played for the previous coach as well, so you have time with the previous coach, and then you're learning a new system with the current coach. Was it a big adjustment, or was it just minor differences between those coaches?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be some differences when the coach changes, and maybe that played a small part in not performing at the level we could have. But now I think year 2 with Coach Ham and everyone buying in, I think we're in a good position this year.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about you first. Had a great freshman year. You hit .370, and then got injured, and then came back and had a solid year back in the lineup again last year. Talk about the injury, what you went through to have to get back into the lineup, because it was a long process.
Yeah, got hurt in the fall of my sophomore year, and pretty much rehabbed it every day, all sophomore year, all sophomore spring, to come back and play in the summer after my sophomore year, and then eventually to my junior season.
So do you think you hit your stride when you got back last year, or does it take like a full year of playing to really get back to where you were?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my play last year was not because of my knee, really. I think it was a few other things that I tried to do differently. But now, I'm fully healthy, so I'm looking forward to showing what I can do this year.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about this year's team. Last year's team, you lost some key players. You lost 3 or 4 of your top pitchers who ate up a lot of innings.
Yeah.
You lost a couple of infielders, a couple of outfielders. So how are things progressing in terms of filling those holes this year?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Pitching-wise, we're young, talented, but young. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, the young guys that we do have are they look ready to go right now. And then in terms of the infielders and outfielders we lost, that'll be tough to fill as well. But I think that we have a deep lineup. We have a lot of depth on the team this year, which will help us out.
And versatility, versatility in terms of especially the infield, no?
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys that can play short, second, and third, with Owen Marika, Luke Broadhurst, and then Noah playing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll help us out, and Brent as well too, freshman who's going to come in and look to play pretty soon.
The freshman from Miami?
Yes.
And a lot of the guys you just talked about were either not here last year or were in their first year, after transferring in. So do you think the people who were new last year and that are back, do you think they're a little bit more settled into the whole rhythm and the whole situation of the program?
Yeah, I think, coming in and playing right away can have its challenges.
Absolutely.
For sure. And now, being in year 2, I think, they'll be better.
You said depth and versatility will be keys to this team. Talk about the leadership expected from Brian Ham. Is Brian the kind of coach where he expects everyone to take care of themselves and be their own leader, or does he key on a couple of people? I know you're the only team captain, but does he key on certain people that are expected to be the vocal leaders?
Yeah, well, so I'm the only captain, but we have a bunch of guys that act as leaders on the team, and we've been actively working on that as a team. I know I can work on being a little more vocal on the field, which I've talked about with Coach Ham, but we got a bunch of guys.
Do you like the chemistry on this year's team?
Yeah, I think we're all very close, and we all get along, which is always a plus.
Do you think that it'll be the kind of season where, as the season goes along, once you get through Florida and early season up north, is this the kind of team that you expect to really, really find itself and to really do some good things come the end of April, beginning of May?
Yeah, I think talent-wise, this is one of the most talented teams I've been on since I've been here. We have a very deep lineup, and then good starting pitching, good relievers, and hopefully we can put that together come playoff time.
Can you talk a little bit about the pitchers? Because I know you lost people like Jordan Muchin and Cole Gorzalak and Nick Riscotti, probably the big 3 last year in a sense. Who's going to eat up innings this year, or who are they looking to at least?
Yeah. So we have definitely a bunch of guys that are going to help and try to eat those innings up. Guys like Josh Vincent, who's new to the program. Jared Buckley, he's a senior. He's pitched a lot for us. Zach Player, and then John Parker as well. So I think those 4 guys we're gonna rely on.
And then who, as of right now, and things can always change, but as of right now, you usually save your number 1 and 2 pitchers for the weekend when you play at least one Little East Conference doubleheader. Yeah. Right now, who looks like those 1 and 2?
It's tough to say. I would say Josh Vincent and Zach Player maybe, but it really could be any of the 4 people that I mentioned. I'd be comfortable with.
And Josh Vincent, I believe he's a senior. He's got 1 year left. He's a transfer from Shawan from New London, which is a great program. 6'3", 210 pounds. What does he do well as a pitcher? I know you're not a pitcher, but
well, he has a power fastball, that's for sure.
Does he?
And he locates it well. So I think he'll have a good time getting LEC batters out. I'll have a good time in the outfield, that's for sure.
You'll be chasing some balls for him. Did you we didn't talk really about the closer, and I know Drew Alexopoulos is probably in the mix there somewhere. He's a senior righty. Talk a little bit about Drew. What's his role going to be this year? Do you know?
So he's looking to have a big season on the mound and at the plate too. He can hit as well. But we're gonna rely on him to be a closer for us.
He'll be the closer.
Yeah.
And when he's hitting, where would he be? Is he a candidate for like DH or?
Yeah, he'll DH a lot, I suspect.
And what are we talking about in terms of the outfield? You'll probably be back and left, I'm assuming, but you've lost some other key people. Talk about who might be taking their place in the outfield as starters.
So we again, we have a lot of depth. We have a new transfer, Ryan Bagdasarian, who is going to come in and play center. And then we have Jack Rich and right from last year. And then other guys like Anthony Stigler is going to be ready to play. Ben Ryan will be ready to go too. So we have a lot of guys that can play.
It could be a pretty good defensive outfield, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Ryan Bagdasarian, he's a junior, he'll have 2 years left, and he is the transfer from UConn, right?
Yep.
What do you see his role as? Do you see him a middle of the order hitter?
Yeah, I think wherever the coaches decide to put him, he'll produce for us. Yeah.
How is he defensively?
He's good, fast, good arm, athletic. So
He'll be a big addition then.
yeah,
He'll be a
for
big
sure.
addition. So Eastern Connecticut baseball opens up its season, scheduled to open up its season Tuesday, March 3rd against Nichols College. They will go to Florida, and then they'll be back, and they'll open up, schedule-wise, they'll open up March 23rd against Eastern Nazarene. And then you guys will, the next day, are scheduled to play UMass Dartmouth in a single game, that would be your Little East Conference opener. Very quickly, last question, John. We were talking a little bit off camera about the Little East Conference tournament. Dartmouth is a team that eliminated you guys, correct, from the Little East tournament last year.
Yep.
After you had beaten the top-ranked team, Southern Maine.
Yep.
Last question, you guys are ranked fifth or sixth in the Little East Conference preseason poll. Were you expecting that's where you would be?
Yeah,
in the poll?
I think that's fair, a fair assessment of us. But I think also that we're being slept on a little bit as well. Because again, we have a lot of talent, and we're looking to definitely make some noise for sure.
So the Warriors again open up Tuesday, March 3rd. They'll be playing Nichols College at Worcester, Massachusetts. John, thank you. Good luck this year.